Yo, what up? What up? It's right here. Getting a little situated. How's everybody? Just got done sorting out stuff. Here the spray cans. We got some paint. Whew. All right. Let's see. All right. We're gonna check to see if we're connected to. All right. All right. Let me change. Yo, what's up? How's everybody doing? Let's see. Yeah, I'm just chilling, man. Resting up right now. I just got done packaging. Well, not packaging, more like sorting out the boxes, putting them over on this side. It was just a lot of stuff. And then I also had to start pulling orders for tomorrow. Let's see. Make sure everything we're good right here. Bam. All right. Sweet. All right. But yeah, everything's been pretty chill as of lately. And see, let me switch the other angles. Boom, boom. Oh, we got that splash paint right here. This is all stuff that's gonna be heading out most likely tomorrow. And if not, then tomorrow's already what, Wednesday? Yeah, or Thursday. But most likely tomorrow. So we got the cream right there. So yeah, it's been fun. Like lately, today was a interesting day. Kind of weird, fun. You know, a little bit of everything was thrown at me today. And you know, when I got home, I was pretty exhausted. And once I got everything done, I was like, all right, I better start sorting my things, getting ready for tomorrow, getting on that jump start, you know, because if not, if I do it tomorrow, I'm going to have a late start and that's going to suck. That's not going to be good for me right there. You know, I'll be like, what the heck? Like what's going down right there? Here, let me check something out though. I want to make sure that we're actually connected on the live stream because I don't know if we are. I kind of just started the all right, we're live, and I didn't really I might have not selected the proper thing, but we're gonna find out right now. I'm gonna check here on the phone, but you guys let me know because normally I know the chat pops up, but let's see. Let me hit the thing right here. Let's see if we really are connected on here. Let's see. Boom. Oh, we're good. We are. All right, sweet. So, I was gonna tell you guys. Yeah. So today, you know, I took off, went to Oxnard. I was out there working and stuff, and then I also had to bring back product that I brought in. Ordered a bunch of boxes, and I had them scheduled for tomorrow, right? To get them in tomorrow, but for some weird reason, they were like, all right, let's hook this dude up. Let's get him out quick. So they showed up quick in a pallet, and the dude's like knocking, like, here, you know, we got a package. And I was like, yo, like, I'm not even there, you know? I ordered it for tomorrow, not today. And, you know, it sucks for him because it's not like he decided, you know, it's like, here's the order, go take it, you know? So it's one of those things where I was like, all right, it's here. I'm not there, but just leave it there and we'll hope for the best, you know? Obviously, you know, there's always, you know, you leave things around, people look, they see, and, you know, some people get crazy and they want to take stuff. But other than that, it was just like a bunch of boxes. So I already had that in the back of my mind knowing, dang, all right, I'm not going to get home till late in the PM. And they just brought this stuff already. It's like 9:30 in the morning, you know, and I'm not even there. I'm like, all right, I'm not really going to think about it, whatever. So then, you know, I got busy doing other stuff at work. And I was like, I'm not going to be off till like 2:30. So I got to sort out everything. And then, you know, all the materials, all the stuff that I'm going to show you guys later that I got in, I was like, all right, cool. Let me make sure everything is there, you know, because a lot of the times you get this stuff and it's all packaged up like this. They put it in these bags. And if I don't like pull everything out and do like an inventory check, then, you know, if I don't do it right there and I wait too long, I say, oh, I'll do it later, maybe like a week from now or whatever. A lot of the times what ends up happening is by the time you tell them like, yo, I'm actually missing something or whatever, um, there could be a slight chance you might run into a problem, and they might not be able to credit you or replace it, because you got to let them know right away. And those are just things that are in the terms and conditions when you sign up with distributors. You got to let them know right away when something's missing or whatever, right? So I also had to take care of that as well. And I was like, all right, cool. We got to do all this stuff. I had a couple other things I had to do as well, to my car and everything. And I don't know. It was just like, as much as like I make a long list of like, I don't know, 10 things I got to do in a day before I get home. For the most part, sometimes I do 7 or 8 of those things, and then there's 2 that are not going to work out. As much as I want to force it, it's not going to happen. So one of those things was kind of a headache. It didn't happen. And then I was just like, whatever. Like, why am I wasting my energy on that? Whatever. We'll do it tomorrow. So, disregarded that. Cool. Move forward. And, it was like an up and down, and then just later in the day, by the time I got home and chilled with my family, it was like different. Like the vibe was like cool. Like whatever happened in the day was like gone now, right? That's the past. Now we're here, and it was just busy, now we're doing other things, getting my daughter ready for school and stuff like that, reciting some things that she needs to memorize. And I'm like, dang, she's only 5 years old and she's got to memorize all these things for like some presentation next month. And I'm like, all right, cool. Let's get you ready for that. So then, after all that was said and done, I was like, all right, cool. It's late now. I can't just chill and like go to sleep. No, I gotta step in here. I gotta sort out all the boxes. I did post a video earlier. I did it from my phone just because everything looked like a mess, and I kind of wanted to show you guys behind the scenes what I was dealing with in that moment. So I just went ahead and I started recording everything, and I posted up that video. And I wasn't really trying to like overproduce a video, trying to like record it all nice or whatever. It was just like, just hit record, and that's what it is. And it's just there. For those of you that saw it, thank you. And whoever sees it in the future, it's out there. But if not, it's just something behind the scenes. And I got that done. And then I was like, all right, I got to sort out orders. I got to get my stuff ready for tomorrow. I'm also working on a VW bug as well. So shout out to my homie Javier. He sent me some wheels. I got those wheels in. So starting tomorrow and going forward, I'm going to start mocking up the wheels and start working on the stance with that build. I'm not going to be working on anything else besides that right now. And I also was sorting out my paint last night as well, just to see what colors I got. And, I know I don't need more colors and stuff. I think my primary colors for the most part is like black, white, and then pearl, snow white, and also the Orion Silver Max. Those are like my foundations that I like to use a lot. So, looking at that, I realized, all right, cool. I'm good. Like I have enough paint. It's nothing's gonna, go wrong, or I'm not gonna need any. But if I do, I'll hit up Coast Airbrush, get it there. But for now, I should be good. The cool thing I like right now is that the temperatures are changing. So out here it's starting to get warm again, which is awesome. It gets me in the mood. It gets me going like, all right, cool. I'm going to get back to painting again and everything, because, the last few months it started to get cold and everything. And I know for some of you guys, it's crazy. It snows in your area. Obviously it does not snow over here. But, it gets cold, and in here in this garage, it gets more cold. And I was just like, nah, I'm not in the mood. I'm going to work on stuff, but I'm not really in that mood to do stuff. I know some people have that, the comfort of building inside of their house. That's dope. I used to do that, I do it here now just because I have all this space and I could be loud. I could do whatever. If I'm not live and I'm working on something, I'll turn on music and I'll just bump it or whatever. I just kind of do my thing, get into my zone when I'm not live. And I could pretty much just do whatever I want in here, and it's super chill. It's not bothering anybody. Neighbors aren't tripping. Like ain't no one saying nothing, and everything is like super chill. So, so now, that this is all changing, we got shows coming up too. I'm super excited for the shows too. And, the one thing that I'm like, I don't know. I know I keep saying the word excited, but I am truly like hyped and all, is I finally got the Tamiya rattle cans in. I'm gonna be ordering more stuff of that to bring it in. One of the things back then that I like, one of the reasons why I didn't really carry so much paint back then is because I didn't have the proper space, the place to put it in. Now in here, like, man, I'm like, oh man, I wish I could get a rack because I would love to set everything up like that. It would just look so dope. But maybe in the future I'll get one, like in a proper official one that you see at the stores, at the hobby stores. So this way I could lay out all these paints, and we got splash paints in, we got the Tamiya paints in, and obviously I want to have two applications for airbrushing and rattle can. I want to focus a lot into beginners, people getting into the hobby, because as much as we want people to get into it, well, I started looking at my store and I'm like, all right, I have a lot of holes in there. I gotta like fill those holes in. I have to make my store also welcoming for someone that's new to the hobby, the novice getting into it. I don't want to make it so intimidating that someone new comes in and they're just like confused and they're like, what's all this stuff? Or like, I don't airbrush, I don't do this, I don't do that, and at some point they just don't even know what to get, because it's just like, oh, well, not everything's there that I need to build a model. And the one thing that inspired me, I was looking at this model magazine from the 60s. I've been diving deep into that, and there was an ad for a store, a mail order store, right? I consider that like their version of like online stores, was a mail order store. And in the ad, it said, basically it was saying like, you could build a model with everything that we sell at the store, and it had everything highlighted. And I was like, yo, like, that's pretty dope. Obviously, a lot of people could think like, well, duh, or like, I could have thought of that, but you never hear people say that. I didn't think of that, but I saw it and I was like, oh, cool. It's almost like it changes the mission statement in your business, And I was like, man, I never really saw it that way. At first, my thing was like, let me get the hard to find tools to help people build their models and help take it to that next level, right? And then, oh, let me get the hard to find kits, right? But a lot of that stuff, it's like very advanced stuff, for people that have been in the game for a long time, people who have like at least 2 years and above under their belt. But for someone new, they're just like, well, what's all this stuff? It's kind of all over the place, right? It's like, just for example, let me bust this out right here. And I'm going to check in with you guys in a little bit too in the chat, but hang on. So it's like this, right? This is the anti-static brush right here that we got in, right? We get these in, all the time. And for someone new, they really don't need this. And for someone new, they're going to be like, well, what is that for? Right? And then right here, you see the examples, you see the bristles and all that, cleaning out the model right there, right? For the advanced person, or even just someone that's been in the game for a minute, obviously you guys know what this is. And this is something that you guys are like, oh, dope, I need something like that, right? To clean my models. Obviously, it could be this one, or it could be a different type of brush, but the application of what we need it for, it's the same thing, right? It doesn't have to be Tamiya. It could be another brand or whatever. But as time goes on and you start advancing in your builds and you start bringing out your builds to shows, you're putting it on the table. At some point, those models get dusty, right? Or at the house, they get dusty. All my stuff back here, at some point, it gets dusty. It's in the cases, but it's going to get dusty, right? Back there. And every so often, I bust mine out, which is right here. This is mine right here. Bust it out. I start dusting stuff, and it gets everywhere. Cool thing, too, is it has a little tiny one right there as well. And for those of you wondering, like, oh, how do you get it in? You don't push it in. You basically just go back in reverse like that. And then you just slide it out, and bam, it's protecting those bristles right there again. So, I was getting a lot of advanced stuff, right? And I was like, damn, like, I've been doing that for so long. Now it's time to go, like, let me try to think if I was getting into it. If I was brand new getting into it, do I do a snap kit, or do I do skill level 2 or a JDM kit that does not have an engine, you know? And when I get that, what else do I need? A hobby knife, nippers, cutting mat, files are optional, sanding pads like sanding paper, you know? And then also, okay, once all that's done, what's the next step? Well, paint, primer, paint, and clear. That's all you need, you know? Everything else is extra, you know? You want to put detailing, that's extra. That's already your step. Now you're opening up the door for the advanced stuff, right? Bare metal foil, you're opening up that door for the next thing. But for someone who's brand new, they don't have to put all that stuff, right? They just do the basics and starting to learn how to hold a can, how to spray it, how to go back and forth, get that movement, that coordination, you know? That's what you want to promote, because think about it. Right now in 2026, how many kids are holding a spray can right now and painting something? There's not a lot of kids. You don't even see that much graffiti anymore in the walls. And if you do see graffiti, it's all the OGs, the veterans, the dudes that get paid to do the walls, right? Anybody else who's just writing, like, most likely they're trying to learn. They're not on that level, you know? But like, it's different now, you know? Back then, you know, you're talking about 80s, 90s, forward, man, there was graffiti everywhere. Everybody was tagging. Everybody was like, you know, using cans to paint anything. Not just like the graffiti stuff, but paint a chair, paint a table, a can, anything, right? And the models, for a lot of kids, it was like, you know, if parents knew that their kids were painting a model, a lot of the times it was like, you know, obviously like brush paint, with little brush and all that. But after a while, you know, I'm sure the fathers or mothers were like, don't trip. We're going to get you some spray cans. And as long as they knew that the kids were like using them for the scale modeling thing, keeping them out of trouble, then everything was all good, you know? And it's funny because right now I'm thinking about like, I remember when I interviewed Gary Seeds, he told me a story, even for him when he was a kid, that he saw somebody painting, right? Oh, here we go. Why is it doing this camera thing? Let me fix this. It like zoomed in all crazy. But anyway, he's like talking about the here, let me see. Can I zoom it out or nah? No, I don't think I could. But anyway, so he's talking about like back then, right? And in that moment, he says that he saw somebody painting, like spraying. And let's see, are we almost here? Here we go. One more camera. There's like a setting. I don't know why it always does this. Weird. But anyway, I think it's because I gave it the hands gesture. I better stop using my hands. So anyway, he says he saw someone spraying and they left the spray can right there. And he was a little kid and he went and he grabbed it and he like took off on it. You know, he took off with it. And from there, you know, he started getting into like, you know, painting like models and stuff like that. So it's a really cool story. One day I'm going to have to ask him again so he could like retell it. But it's those little things, you know, that get you into it. So like if somebody comes up to me or somebody like asks me, hey, you know, I want to get my kid into this, what do I need? You know, I have to have the stuff to answer that question and be like, you know, this is what you need. All you need is this. You don't need to need all this other stuff. That's just extra. If they want to take it to that next step, then, you know, we'll get that stuff, you know. But anyway, let me go ahead and go in the chat real quick. Let me say what's up to you guys. Let me look at the screen over here. And let me start from the top. All right. What up? What up? Carlos Avalar, what's up, man? How you doing? Let's see. John Paul, what's up, man? How you doing? We got OmniWorks. What up? What up? Dang. Oh, 30 inches of snow here. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's a lot of snow right there. Let me see what else. Yeah, I'm going to show you guys in a little bit the colors of the cans that I got in. I'm kind of starting out. I do have the primers already, but it's the Tamiya metallics that I got. And let's see. Let me jump in here real quick. So we got the metallics and followed later. I got a pearl too, but later I'm gonna dive more deeper into the pearl colors as well. And then I don't know if you guys have seen, but shout outs and congratulations again to Gary Seeds. He got some awards for a show he just went to recently. He's been like actively painting, building models again, so that's been really dope. And he just did some. If you go to his channel, he posted up some new models that he just did, and they came out really dope, really sick. So let me bring out the stuff. All right, I'm gonna switch the camera over to this side so I can start showing you guys the stuff. All right, cool. There we go. All right, so I have them in the boxes. Right here, and then I'll bring them out. I got to get them on this side because there we go, all over that side right there. All right, let me move that mic. All right, better. Yeah, I'm rocking the headphones because I want to be able to hear myself because I keep moving the mic around. I just want to make sure we don't have no issues with the sound right there. All right, sweet. So let's see. This right here, this is metallic red. Ooh, got a little 6-pack right here. All right, let me just bust them out. What's this one here? Gold. Ooh. All right. I'm excited about the gold ones. I'll tell you guys in a bit. The gold color. What's this? Oh, what happened? Only 5? Dang. Psh, I think that's all they had. I think they didn't really have that much pearl. That's a pearl green. Pearl white. Woo. It's a nice one. Damn, those colors look so dope. Oh, what? This one too. The metallic green. All right, what do we got here? Metallic orange. They didn't have metallic blue. I was a little bummed out about that because when I look at these two colors right here, and if I had the blue, these colors take me back to Lowrider Bicycle magazines when they were selling the Lowrider bicycles, and they had them in those colorways, and they were also like a metallic color. So I was like, oh, dude, that'd be so dope. So all right, let's put together the metallics, which we got these right here, and these two are pearls. Let's see this one. So this is a gold, but it kind of is borderline in the metallics section right there. So if you guys can see them right here. Here, let me tilt this one right there. All right. Boom. All right, cool. So regarding these, right? Like I said, Tamiya primers, we got the gray, we got them in gray, white. I think we do have the oxide color. But anyway, with these though, man, these are clean because it looks kind of transparent too, right here. You see how close we could get right there. The thing about the metallics, what makes them super cool is, you know, when you're painting, you put them in the sun, you're gonna get a nice shine, and then when you clear coat using like Tamiya clear, I think it's TS13, the gloss clear. It pretty much is gonna have like a nice layering coat of clear, not so thick. You know, it's not a 2K, but just enough to cover the paint. You know, and man, when I see this color though, it stands out. I very rarely paint colors in gold. It's not really like my thing. I tend to go more chrome over pretty much everything. But man, when I start seeing these combinations, like a green and a gold, it takes me back to like 60s kind of stuff because that's what I've been seeing a lot in the mags. These right here though, oh, these are classics. Like this pearl green right here is really nice, really clean. And this pearl white, I mean, these colors right here are very, very soft, very elegant, you know. You could do two-tone, like the body could be this color, the roof could be this color. These two colors work very well. They complement each other very well, because that's the thing with colors. When you're painting, you don't want to combine colors that don't go, and then it's like the car's all over the place, right, with the paint job. So a lot of times you got to start with solid paint job, and then later start switching up with two colors that go together. What helped me a lot back then was like using like even like a color wheel. That helped a lot. And then later, Armando started breaking it down to me on colors and things like that. So it's always nice when you have the choices on there. And let's see what else. I know I got a couple more boxes of Mr. Habe. Let's see what we got here. This one is Mr. Surfacer Gray. All these are all lacquers also, so these also will work well together. And then we have the Mr. Super Clear UV Cut Matte as well. I do have the gloss also, but let me put that right there. Boom. But yeah, if you're looking for like matte finish, we got that right here. Let me see. Even with these splash paints right here, these are also compatible. These are also lacquers as well. This is part of the interior series right here, the cream and the tan. Later we'll get the rest of the interior series because we don't have the complete. We only have certain ones. And then we also got some engine colors right here. These two right here. These are part of the engine series. Corp Blue and Hemi Orange. Yeah, all these are going to be packaged and shipped out later. We got a couple of the Plum Crazy Purple. And, we'll get into the JDM ones real quick. We got a couple JDM colors coming out. Millennium Jade, one of my favorite ones. And this is a Midori Green. This is also like a favorite one right here. So, obviously for beginners, going back to that, I would recommend rattle cans for sure. Don't be scared. Rattle can, get into it. Later, you want to step into now over here on this side. Bam, we got airbrush application. These are ready to spray. Shake them up, agitate them, have them upside down, roll them. Get them ready, and just pour that in your cup and airbrush, and you go from there. All these systems, they're different brands, but they do work well together. I haven't had any issues. I've seen people do it. Like even the Tamiya primer, I use it for everything. Tamiya primer, I either could lay lacquers or even urethane, House of Color. And urethane is a lot hotter than this stuff, and nothing happens. Everything is all good. You just don't want to do it in the reverse. You don't want to shoot urethane paint and then later clear over that with lacquer like Tamiya clear, because then you will have some crazy effect happening. But for the most part, it's super chill. And here, let me set these over here. The Tamiya jars right there. Hey, they're different. What the heck? These are the Tamiya jars, but I'm noticing, look at that. They don't even have the measurement no more. What's going on? Hey, this is more of a sticker. I could feel it on the edge. You could see it. Dang, what happened? I wonder if they're no longer gonna print on them anymore. I mean, these are great bottles for sure. You could store some paint and everything. These caps are great. But for measuring, man, that's kind of disappointing right there. It doesn't have the measurement on the side right there. So you're going to have to kind of eyeball it or get a pen or a marker, and just mark it. Or maybe the half and do like 1 to 1, depending like with what you're doing. And oh, dudes, I gotta show you guys this. I got this coin right here. Here, let me switch up the camera so we can get closer. Right here, we're gonna do a little show and tell. Look at this coin that I got. Let me see. Oh, this thing's gonna fall. But oh, here, how can I do this? Can I put it up here better? Ah, all right. Let me do the top view. I mean, I gotta see it. Let me see. All right, so we got this coin. I had shown it in the video earlier. So the person who I bought this from, in the description, they had said that back in the day, their parents owned one of the not his parents, but like someone in the family, maybe like the grandparents, owned the General Motors in their area, and that during this event, the Motorama, they were giving out these coins to spectators, like people that were there, and he this was something that he's had in his collection that was given to him from his family, but he really doesn't have any connection to it. So he decided to sell it. I saw it and I was like, I want it. So I bought it. This other thing too, this is a special one right here too. This is something he said belonged to his grandfather. And here, let me pull it up. So it looks like, I don't know if it's like little like cufflinks or maybe something you put on there, because this does not twist or come off, right? There's also some writing in the back. But this is pretty much from here, let me pull up the name. I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to butcher it right now. Let's see here. It's small. It's so tiny. But this is my first little piece right there. And let's see here. I really didn't know much about it, right? In the beginning, I would be like, whoa, what is that? Right? So this little thing, it's it says lapel button. It's an antique Fisher Body Craftsman Guild. That's what it is. It's part of that. So back then, General Motors would have these contests for young people, to design cars that like concept cars, futuristic cars, right? So this is like, man, I want to say they probably started it in the 30s, but in the 50s, there was all these young guys who were out of wood shaving and crafting these cars, and it was a huge contest. And if you won, a lot of the times you got hired by General Motors. They gave you scholarships, and they even used your concepts on real cars, So it was a lot of things like that that I found very fascinating. So I started like researching all this stuff, and I mean, I feel like I'm scratching the surface on that, because from what I'm getting is that a lot of the people that applied and got into this, they got hired by GM. Some of the winners, a couple of the winners that won it, ended up, being, man, I'm still trying to figure this out, because I'm reading a couple different mags, and one magazine says that those two winners were the creators of Revell when they were young. That they won the contest, and later on in the future, they started the Revell company, and they were based out of Venice Beach, California, right? And then there's someone else that brings in another name that was also in the contest. So, once I do all this research and everything, then I'll present this and to get the record straight from what I've been learning, right? There's videos on this online on YouTube as well with some people that own some of these cars. I mean, dang, if I'd find one and if I could buy one and it was like a cool price, not nothing crazy, like, arm and a leg, I'd probably buy one and I'd probably have it, because it is part of car history. It is part of even this model car history. So it's really really interesting stuff. And I just been as much as you know immersing myself, getting deeper and deeper into the hobby. I'm trying to just backtrack more. I want to really know where a lot of this stuff comes from. Where we have to know where we came from. And from being able to track magazines, articles, and just go backwards. I feel like, okay, at some point, I know I'm going to go further back into 50s era, and at some point, even more back into maybe like late 40s, So it's little by little, like backtracking on stuff, reading things. There's a lot of reading because everything it was all printed in articles and stuff. And then there's just some stuff that doesn't exist. There are some modelers that are out there that know this knowledge, and they're out there. They've written books and they've done stuff. They go to shows. Unfortunately, I haven't gone to those shows where I get to meet them, but I know that at some point I'm going to end up meeting these people, because I know as much as I want to learn it, I know they want to also share their findings, their information. And, if you guys know somebody that knows a lot about that stuff, let me know, or let them know too about me or what I'm doing. So, you never know. We might be able to connect on something like that with research from the past. So there's a lot of just different topics, subjects, and things to find out. I know at some point in the future, I'd also like to go to the Model Car Museum, the official one that's out there, that moved from what is it, Salt Lake City, Utah. That was by the GSL, where everybody would pretty much go to every time they went out there. I want to go to the new location where it's gonna be. So I do want to check that out for sure. So little by little, man, I'm like getting my little things. I already have all my paints right here. I got my little stash right there going, and eventually I'll be getting some stuff in. Here, let me bust this out. Better not drop it, but there we go. Hey, shout outs to Weasel. Also, he clarified the 69 meant 69 cents on these cans, because I know I was talking about it. I was like, man, what's this mean? Like, all these cans I got had 69 on them, right? And another thing too, someone pointed out on the tester's bottle, someone said, yo, my homie Javi, and then someone else said it too on Facebook. They said the tester's logo looks like, he said, no, they said it looks like Tesla copied the tester's logo. Let me bust it out so I can show you, and you guys tell me what you guys think. And I was like, yo, you're right. Like, it's somewhat there. So look at the top of the cap. I got some paint right there. It's crazy. I can't open this. Like, it's really tight. And I think because inside the cap, there's like a little piece of cardboard, and it's like stuck, like it's glued, right? Especially if the paint was like dripping out. And I just cannot open this at all. It's so tight. But I also don't want to risk it. I don't want to get a tool or something and like damage the cap or risk breaking the glass. That's it. It's done, It looks kind of cool like this though. I really love the way this looks right here. But yeah, you guys be the judge. Let me know. It's kind of interesting though. I was like, oh man, I didn't even think about that right there, But yeah, these are like the OG testers little bottles right here with the OG logo and the whole display. I wonder if they trademarked it. They probably didn't. They probably did at the time or copyrighted it. But I'm sure after the 10 years or 20 years, they probably didn't even bother in renewing it. They just were like, let's just change the logo, or the brand got sold or whatever. you know, and it was open and boom, someone swooped in, you know, or altered it a little. I don't know. I'm just kind of making stuff up, brainstorming, but you guys let me know. I don't know too much about that stuff. But yeah, man, this stuff is like just super cool, very exciting. Let me show you the other stuff. Let me bust out the other goodies right here. So these are the files, and they're pretty much the same except for this one's different, and then this one. So there's two sets, two different ones right here. You know, when you look at them, this looks a little bit more bigger, more rough, and this is just a little bit more smoother. So this is more coarse. Obviously the brush, anti-static brush, and then we also got these small tapes. We got these back in. And I'll show you guys the wheels that I got from my homie Javi too. They look pretty cool. So we got the 1mm back in stock and the 2mm back in stock. The weathering. Yeah, let me put this over here. I got to get like a little case for this coin though. I got to put this in something. Can't just leave it out. Here, let's move these back here. Oh yeah, and then this is probably the last thing. Masking tape with plastic sheeting right here. Yeah, this stuff also comes through. A lot of times, you know, you only want to spray a specific area, and you know you need to mask the whole car to avoid overspray. A lot of times this stuff comes in handy there, so you could like pretty much wrap it with the plastic and spray your car, then take it off and you're straight. Let me go ahead and get the wheels that I got from my homie Javi. All right, let's see. So these came all the way from Japan. All the way from over there. It made its way over here, and he was nice enough to come through, hook it up, because these ones here, I need these wheels right now for the bug. All right, here they are. So this is the brand. It's called Orange Wheels. Accessory for car model. Right there. Let's start from the top. Asuka model. That's the brand right there. Asuka. Here, let's see the back. Oh, the application. Yeah, so these are the wheels right here. Set of 4. Then we got the tires. Here we go. Reversible stretch tires right here. So these will be the tires that I'll be using. Oh, look how nice those look. On the VW Bug, I got to camber the back wheels, leave the front ones straight, you know. But yeah, these are pretty sweet. And then tomorrow I'll be receiving the new new labels for the boxes. When I'm packaging, I'm getting in new labels. I'm also going to be getting in some stickers. New stickers are also on the way as well. So very excited for that. And yeah, when I package up my stuff tomorrow to ship out, I want to put in a lot of those new stickers that I got in. So once I get them in, I'm gonna do a quick little video showing them, maybe a short or something, and then later I'll start you know, using all that stuff. I'm almost done with the roll right there, the one I use for the boxes, and I'm almost I'm almost out of those shipping containers. I think I only have like a few left. I don't have that many left. Tomorrow I'll be sending out some more. Like all the models that are behind me, right there. That's all stuff that's gonna be heading out. A couple containers and other stuff, and then some of the splash paints that I just showed you guys. That's also gonna be heading out tomorrow. So I might jump in the live again during the day just to like package up some of that stuff, get it ready, so I could go drop it off. You know, it's just I've just been busy, man. There's just a lot going on. You got some family events coming up too. Looking forward to that in the weekend. So gotta prep, gotta do all this stuff, and a lot of times I'm just like a little bit of time, you know, because I gotta do this stuff, you know, as much as it's like creating content, recording, reading, researching. There's also, you know, I got to take off this hat and put on another hat, and I got to like package orders and get stuff out, you know. I don't want to take too long with that either. Have something like hanging on or pending for so long, you know. It's like we got to get this going, and I want people to have their stuff, you know, that they've ordered right there. Here, let me check the chat real quick with you guys. See, OmniWorks says, hell yeah, those come in very handy for customizing wheels. Have plenty in the stash. Oh, right on. That's sweet. The Tamiya Clear Pearl is nice too. Dude, right now, I'm glad you said that because I did see it was available. I've never used it. So question for you, OmniWorks, that Tamiya Clear Pearl, if I just have just a solid, basically solid color and I clear over there, it's basically going to give it that pearl effect, right? On there. That's what I want to know because I've never done it. And I'm trying to think of what else. Well, I think if I'm already using the green pearl and if I spray that clear pearl, it's just gonna, it might like flood it or saturate it too much where it might be just too much pearl and it might affect or might not look good. I don't know. I'm just assuming that, but the clear pearl looks pretty cool. And man, that could be like a nice effect on a like a clear part, you know, doing like a nice little clear part. I think that would come in pretty handy right there. Oh, this gold though. Oh shit, go. Nah, I'm playing. Imagine. Let's see right here. I've used that on a couple of builds. I think I need more. Haha. Let's see. It does. It even changed the tone of the bass. Oh, sweet. Oh, dude. Now I'm thinking like, what if? Well, not this color, but like a black, like the black bass by Mr. Hobby. You know, of primer and then hitting it with that clear. It'd probably switch up that black into like a black pearl, right there. Or maybe it'll look a little dusty. I don't know. But yeah, that would be pretty dope. To do something like that. Shake it up. Let's see how it sounds with this. It's kind of the same. Yeah, on the cans that I have right there, there's a couple where when you hold them, you could feel that they still have paint in there, and you shake them up, and the marble is huge. You hear pop pop pop, like it just makes a lot of noise right there. Let's see, Carlos. He says it's sprayer from afar away, so you don't load up with too much pearl. Yeah, like dusting it. Man, I love pearls. Pearls are like my favorite color right there. You know, flakes are dope too, like dry flakes. You spray those, but it's somewhat of a hassle, you know, with dry flake because once you apply your dry flake, you have to bury that thing with clear. And sometimes it requires a couple sessions or a few sessions to bury all that clear, you know, because all those flakes are in different angles. And even when the clear is drying, it tends to crawl into those little crevice areas where once it gases out and it dries, it shrinks. So when you look at flake, you touch it, it feels all rough and it looks weird. You could tell, dude, that needs more clear right there. So you have to be careful and just keep adding those layers of clear over and over and over, you know. And also I feel like the flakes also for like advanced modelers as well, because there's certain airbrushes or things you could use to apply the metal flake, and also prepping it, like mixing it as well. That's like a whole nother step, and it could be intimidating for somebody new, you know, someone jumping into it. They're gonna be like, dude, come on, bro, this is too much. I just want my car to shine. So that's when we recommend the metallics. You know, it's a small, like just a tiny little bling that's on there, you know. It's not no metal flake, but it will have that type of effect right there, right in the bling. Let me see. See, Carlos says, Edgar, I think you've seen it. I finally made my Instagram and Facebook page. Model, I've never had one. For model, I never had it. Oh, nice. Hell yeah. Yeah, I saw your Instagram on there. That's awesome. Yeah, you just gotta keep posting, and I'm sure a lot of the modelers that are on there are gonna find your page. There's a lot of people on there, like just a lot. Even on Facebook, you know, they're both good platforms to connect with people. There's people all over on there, and everybody's just active, doing their thing, working at their pace, making their models, and posting up their stuff, man. But that's dope. Congrats. Hell yeah. That's what's up. Let's see. Right here. Bam. But tomorrow, man, already Wednesday. It threw me off the Monday, you know, not having the day off. Well, I still worked, but like I still had to do stuff. I don't know. I feel like I don't even really take a day off. Like I still got to do stuff. Even if I'm like, oh, I got the day off and this and this and that, I still got to do something, you know. But on Monday, though, when I packaged the stuff, I ended up loading everything up in my car, and I went to the post office. And obviously they were closed, but in the back, there's always somebody working in the back. And I had said that during the live. Pulled up, and there was people working, but they didn't bust out the baskets. So all of a sudden I was like, oh, dang, we just can't drop them off. So came back home, and I was like, all right, we got to do it today, which is Tuesday, earlier today. And that was another thing. I had to go to the post office, drop all that stuff off, and everything was cool. Everything got sorted out, you know? And I was like, all right, cool. It was just like I said, a lot of things on the list. We got it done, and we're good. Tomorrow's another day. You know, tomorrow, the plan, work during the morning, record some content, some clips, also package up the orders. All right, here we go. This thing starts moving, you know. I gave it the hand gesture. I think here, let me see. Let me turn this little thing on just in case if I need to switch it off. But anyway, we got to do that, and then I got to start working on the VW. I got to get on it. I got to start working on the stance, getting that ready. Once that's ready, then I can move forward, and I could start pretty much, you know, working on the prepping the body for primer. So we'll do that. I talked to Armando regarding that, and I told him, look, man, I'm going to work on this car, but I do not plan on opening any doors. I'm going to most likely glue the hood in the trunk. I don't have time. Like, I don't have time to like go all out on this build, customize this, do that, you know, I just can't, because if I start going that route, I'm not going to finish it. I'm going to be honest. I won't finish it. It's just going to hold me back, and I won't finish it. So I'm just going to keep it chill and just have fun with it, you know? Cause you know, that's, you know, we keep saying this, that's what it's about, but I also know that it also causes stress. It also causes this and that, right? It keeps us up late at night, you know. If we have an idea on our mind that we want to do it to the model, and we don't do it, and we kind of waste our time, and we just do not do it, when we go to sleep, we're thinking about it. We're like, we don't even sleep. We're just thinking about it. We're up all night. But if you work on the model and you just do that one modification, the one thing you needed to do, or the one, and you're like, all right, cool, that's it. I could go to sleep now. You're going to go to sleep. Cool. You're going to be dope. And then tomorrow, the next day, you're going to be excited. You're going to be thinking about it at work or wherever you're at. You're gonna be thinking, man, I can't wait to go home and continue on with what I was doing. You know, that's most likely what's gonna end up going down right there. But so far, the plan is to be productive tomorrow. You know, like I said, got to get the list out of all the things I got to do and try to do as much as I can do on that list, and just, you know, keep it chill. Let's see. What up, Dan? What's up, dog? Dan, Canada. What up? You and who's it? John Paul right here. Both of you guys are from Canada. That's dope. Peace and love to all my Scarborough. I hope I said that right. Scarborough, Canada. Nice, man. Dang, what the hell? It's like a little bug right here. Hey, the other day I was in here, and when it was warming up, and I heard a cricket, right? And then, and like on the other side of the wall, I was like, oh, they're back. The crickets. I don't know if you guys remember, you know, last year during, like, I don't know, June, July, when I was, I think it was July, when I was doing the live streams, I could hear them in my headphones, like just loud. And I would be like recording or going live, and as soon as the cricket would pop up, the noise, oh man, it was just like, it was hard to record because they were just there, you know? And I was like, oh man, this is not cool, you know? Obviously, when it got cold, they went away. They're gone. But now, you know, it's the circle of life. We're starting the new year and everything. And hey, they got to do what they got to do, right? They got to come through. They got to sing for us. They got to make some music or whatever. And I just got to chill and let them do their thing, man. I can't do nothing about it, you know? So we'll see what happens. But I heard one and I was like, oh, but it didn't bother me this time around. I was kind of like, all right, whatever. You know, I kind of mentally like blocked it out. My thing is, I just hope it does not interfere with the recordings, you know, which some did, because I would listen back and I'm like, oh man, I could hear that cricket in the background, you know. And I don't know, some people like the sound, some people don't. And, you know, I always try to have like a decent recording as much as I can. Man, this thing's driving me crazy. It keeps moving around. Oh, here we go. Let's turn this off. Why does it keep doing that? I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. All right. Let's see right here. Boom. Question to you guys. What are you guys doing? What are you guys up to right now? Because it's 11:30 over here where I'm at. But what do you guys got going on right now? Or what'd you guys get into today? Let's see. Oh, Carlos says, come on, man. They want to be part of the crew. They probably do. I wonder how they do later. Like, if I start like painting stuff, I wonder if the fumes, if they'll like it or not. Let's see. Oh, dang. Canada, 2:30. And also in Miami, 2:30. Dang, in the morning. The AM spot. Yeah, lately, I think 12 for me. For the most part, normally it's 12 and then pass out. I'm done, you know. Sometimes 12:30, depending how I wrap things up here. Sometimes I'll be like, all right, cool. I'm gonna, I got to do this and that. And then I'm gonna go sleep, you know, but when I'm feeling super tired, where I'm like, all right, I'm done, dude. Sometimes I do knock out at 8, you know. I'll just pass out and that's it. And then the next day, I'll be all good, bro. All good. Let's see. OmniWork says, work, man. It's my Monday. Started at my spring semester. Been a long day. Oh, man. So you're working and school. Right on, bro. Right on. Doing your thing. That's what's up. What's up, Hector? Let's see. We have Hector Mata. He says 1:30 aquí in Pasadena, Texas. That's what's up, man. Hope you're doing well. Nah, thank you, man. Right on. Thank you for tuning in. Man, I remember I didn't know that Texas had a like Pasadena out there. When I heard Pasadena, I saw like on a video or something. I thought, wait a minute, is that Pasadena, like here in California? But no, it was like Texas, and I was like, oh, right on. I never knew that. That was new to me. But that's cool, man. That's what's up. Hope you're doing well as well, man. Thank you. Let's see. See, Carlos says, I've been building my 1940 custom for land delivery, barely working on the chassis, but full detail. Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, man. All those, like, I would recommend, as since you said you started the Instagram and the Facebook, try to document some of that process and just share it, like on posts or even videos or reels. Probably go more for the videos. I think the videos would get more eyeballs on it. Just because right now all these apps, that's what they're pushing is more videos, right? But also we do need the pictures though too, because sometimes we just want to sit still and stare at the photo to get inspired, right? So you get the best of both worlds right there as well. So that's awesome, man. Yeah, I need to start photographing as I'm going with my stuff, because I tend to just record. I'll just hit the record button. I'm doing my thing. I have been recording the VW process. I just haven't been posting any videos on it. My plan is to just hit record, not go live, work on the VW, and when the recording's done, I'm gonna like number it like part 3, part 4, or whatever. And then once it's done, I wanna basically edit each part really short. So hopefully I can make like a 5 or a 10-minute video out of all those parts, like really short, from beginning to end, because I do see a lot of people doing that, and props to them for doing that, because I know that took a long time to do, and that's tough to do, man. And I don't have that kind of discipline. I'm trying to have that discipline. For me, it's tough. I could be all over the place, but I'm really trying hard to do this from the beginning to the end. So we'll see what's up. Let's see. Oh, Freddie, what up, man? Damn. H-Town Model Shop. What's up, bro? Let's see. Freddie from H-Town is from here too. Hey, tell him I said what's up, bro. Because I saw Freddie. I think he commented on a post on Facebook, but I can't remember how old that post was. I don't know if it was something recently or it was something from back then. But yeah, man, tell him I said what's up. Let me see. Oh, that's dope. Yeah, one time, a quick story about Freddie. It was the out here, the Grand National Roadster Show some years back. It might have been 2019, I want to say, and or 2018, but around that era, Freddie mailed me like I think two of his cars. One of them was it was that Cadillac where he had it themed after like a candy. I can't remember the name of the candy, but he did have this display with these candies, right? And maybe you'll remember. And then another car he sent me was, I want to say, oh man, I can't remember. I think it's a 59 Impala or a 1960 Impala that was black, and it had like a pattern, like another color of like pattern in it, right? Really clean. And he sent those to me, and I took those cars with me to the NNO West, and then I brought them back and I took them to the Grand National Roadster Show. And I remember he ended up getting an award. I want to say, I think it was in the Roadster Show. So when it was time to like send everything back to him to Texas, I like packaged everything up and put that in there to send it back. But man, I'm going to tell you this though. That was the first time I ever received models from somebody to take to a show. And man, it's a big responsibility. When I remember I received the box, and even the box was a little damaged, and I took photos and everything. I took photos of everything, how I opened it, because I wanted to make sure I put everything back the way I got it, so everything fits, And there was some things that were knocked off the car that I had to glue back in for him, and send that back to him when it was the time. I think the other time I had to do something like that was for my homie Ryan out in Hawaii. He sent out some models, and I took those to the SoCal Open, and I brought my models too, so we had ours together there at the show, and bringing the model back home, putting it back in its package, and just storing it away. He told me to hold on to it because he usually comes out to California, and he was like, I'll just get it from you when I get back. Cool. Got it back to him, and I was like, all right, that was more chill. It wasn't so crazy. But I always worry when it comes down to getting stuff in like that and shipping stuff out, models that are already built. Like, I'd be nervous if I had to mail one of these out. I would think, oh man, this thing's gonna get thrashed. Like, for some reason, that's the one kit they're gonna grab and kick it in the air like a football. They're gonna spike the ball. I don't know, man. I always get worried about that with models. I actually bought a couple of built models on eBay, Scale Survivors. Very curious about these cars. They're original 1962 Impalas, screw bottoms, and they're already made. Like, they're already built. They're painted, assembled, everything, right? And I mean, when you look at them, I don't know if like a little kid built them or an adult. I really don't know. The paint job looks like it was brushed, like with like a paint and brush. Most likely it was enamel paint that was on it. And once I get the models in, because I just recently bought them from this guy that was selling them, and I think they shipped out today or maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I gotta check the tracking, to be honest. But hopefully next week they show up, right? And when I get them, I want to do a video on them. Like, I want to show them and just really examine them, right? I'm gonna leave them alone the way they are because they are Scale Survivors. I don't know if I'm gonna really be like, oh, let me take these apart and strip them and try to do them my way. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I might just keep them the way they are. But when I get them in, I'm gonna hit up the guy who I bought them from, and I'm gonna ask him, like, hey, what's the story behind these? Can you fill me in? Like, what's the back end? Did you build them? Are these from your collection, or did you buy these from somebody else, or did you find them, or how'd you get them? I just want to know, like, what, like, and if he knows, let's say if he says, you know what, they're actually mine, I did them as a kid, I kind of want to know more. All right, well, what kind of paint, whatever, right? And if they're like, nah, bro, I came up on them, I'm like, what? From who? Nah, I'm playing. But anyway, I really want to know about them. Hopefully, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm hoping I find out the kind of paint that was used on it, what era these were built. It would be really interesting if these were built back in the 60s. I'll be like, wow, if they are, I might have to just buy 2 more cases of these and just keep them like that. And like, I don't know, wonder like, man, and maybe, who knows, maybe if I do a video or something, nah, that's a long shot. It'll be weird if somebody was like, yo, I built those back in the day. I don't know. It probably won't happen, but it doesn't hurt to try to ask or find out, But yeah, I did a video on my 67. That was like one of the last models I built. I want to say it's like 98, 99, going into high school. And then that was it, man. I just put everything away. Whatever paint, whatever stuff I had, I just took all that stuff away. And, 2015, boom, we got back into it. Let's see right here. See, Dan says, I have a copy of the instructions only to that OG kit. Oh, sweet. Yeah, I don't know if this one comes with instructions. I know one of the kits, it comes with the original box. The model's already built. The other one, it has the box, the kit built, and it has he's gonna add some of the extra parts that weren't used, because they did use some of the custom parts, the styling parts that it came with. Man, it's getting cold in here. I better throw on my jacket. Hang on. It came with some of the styling stuff. So I'm gonna see what's up. I'm gonna see what's up with that. Maybe, who knows? Maybe I could use that. Maybe that stuff I can be like, yo, I could use that in a future kit. It's a trip because some of those old parts, they're really brittle, like the plastic. Watch. All right, cool. In this little case right here. Here, let me change the camera angle. Let me boom, the top. Let me move these things out of the way now. Let's check these out. I'm gonna show you guys these. So I had gotten this like Revell thing, right? And it came with grills and stuff. And it came with 3 of these. And you could cut these, like you can modify these bars. You don't have to have all 4 of them. When is it 4? One? No, 6. Ugh. Oh, look at that. It already peeled off some of the chrome on there. Dang. But it's weird. Like, I mean, these are OG, but the thing here, let me zoom in this way. How I used to do it. There we go. So these are supposed to be, I'm assuming, chrome, but they look more like a gold kind of color. And, you know, right here I put tape, and when he pulled off the tape, it pulls it off. This is so old. But these break. Like right here, there's already a break, and I put glue on it, and it really didn't stick. This one here looks somewhat clean, but I almost feel like it's gonna end up breaking later. This one, I dropped this one by accident, and I was like, oh man. And two pieces right here already broke. I don't know if you can see them, but a couple already broke, bro. I was like, dang, what the hell? But I don't know. Maybe later I'll use these on a build. I will most likely probably have to cut them somewhere. They are a little angled right there, as you can see. That's pretty cool. But they're rough. You know, they're not very clean. They're pretty rough. So I'm just admiring them. I'm just like happy for these things that were available back then, and I have them right now, you know, that I'm like, oh man, that's so cool. These things are from back in the day. Oh dang. Trying to get this little plaque. This is even like a little plaque from back then. I don't know if you can see the little detail on there. Some crew, I don't know what crew. There's a little crew right here on this thing. Something's written on there. Let's see. GB Models, what's up, man? Thank you for coming through. Right here, we're just chilling out. And then this isn't old. This is more newer. I forgot for what kit, but I'm just kind of holding on to this steering wheel. Might use this for something. And then these are from the 58 as well. AMT that came out later. I would say somewhere in the late 80s, early 90s. And then, oh yeah, these bars, I kind of grabbed them from something else, but I don't know. Little by little, I'm going to just be tossing things in here from custom parts, whatever I come across. You know, I'm excited for the upcoming shows because I do want to hit up the swap meet, and I want to see what custom parts, things that I could get into, that I could buy, you know, because some of this stuff, it gets overlooked. You know, we go to the shows and we start looking at like the models that they're selling, or like, oh, dope, they have this model, they have that model, and we're just buying models. You know, somebody's there selling wheels, we're buying wheels and all this stuff. And there's always somebody selling kits with bags or just baggies with a bunch of chrome parts. And it's like, you know, I need to start jumping on those things and buying them, because sometimes they're just trying to get rid of them, and there might be a part in there that I might need for one of my models, you know. Let me put this back right there. Boom, boom. All right, let's see. Not much, just working on my models at the moment. Oh, nice, man. Hey, what city and state are you in, and what time is it? I'm just curious, because man, it's getting late here. But man, you guys are up. Tripping out on that. You guys are up late. That's cool. That's cool. We'll find out right now. Let's see. Bam. Yeah, later in the future, I'll get back to doing live builds again. It's just sometimes it gets a little hard, because if I get into the zone of working on something, then what ends up happening is I start to get quiet. I stop talking, you know. And there's sometimes where I'm like, all right, well, maybe maybe I'll just go live and I'll get into it and I'll put on some music, like the stuff I'm into. But I really can't do that either, because if I do that, then through the music, it's gonna get flagged, and most likely it's gonna mute the video, or it's gonna it's like a red flag, It's gonna get flagged, and I don't want to deal with that. So I gotta put something together, something more original, if I'm gonna go down that route, and see what's up from there. But that's something that's gonna be in the works, and I'll get back into that later. Let's see. GB Model says, I am in Melbourne, Australia. Oh, dope. 7 p.m. Damn. Right on, bro. That's crazy. You're in the future, man. That's so dope. Yeah, I've never been to Australia, man. That is one of the countries I do want to go to. It's on my list. I know my homie Slowly Models is out there. If I ever went out there, I'd be down to meet him. Like we got to link up at some point. I don't want to just be like, yo, dog, I'm out here. I flew all the way over here, and we don't even get to link up. It's got to happen. We got to do the link up. But now that's dope, man. I can't remember I don't know if it's Tumbata or something like that. The name of where he's at. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, I'm also I've been researching this dude Bill Cushenberry, man. It's very interesting. That model right there, the Dream Rod. Look that up and just look up his name, Bill Cushenberry. He did the silhouette. Let me just get the cover of the mag so you guys can see the cover real quick. It's pretty sweet. Hang on. The silhouette. All right. We'll do a little show and tell right here. All right. Look at this. I have just like my eyes are glued to this whenever I see this cover. Rod and Custom magazine back in January of 1963. This is 35 cents. And then Canada, 40 cents. Shout out to you guys. All right, here we go. Bonneville, world's fastest cars, photos, show results, drags, and look at this cool little section right here in blue. Scratch build a model, part 3, Model Rama, the Chevy history of model cars. That's the cool thing about these magazines, is that they featured model cars. So this is the first Rod and Custom magazine I've purchased. I have been collecting more Carcraft and all the other brands, but I had to buy this one because we have the silhouette, this car right here, that's built by Bill Cushenberry. Look at the name. Look that name up when you guys, or write it down whenever you guys have a chance. There's not so much info. There's info on the cars, but as far as videos, there are some, and it's more like I wish there was more than what there already is. I just really wish, right? But he did this car, and I have the model car right here of it that later I'm going to get into and build one day. This is not the original one that came out. This is one that came out later, But I really love the artwork. It's a very futuristic / like vintage type of look, right above nostalgic series silhouette. created by Bill Cushenberry. And then when I look at this building right here with these arches, it reminds me of I think of like LAX airport, because they do have a building similar to this out there at the airport that I believe is a restaurant. And then right here it says, what, All American Show and Go 120 Fisco. Hey, Vision 124, what's up, dog? What up, what up? And then also Modeled Out Customs 3855. What's up, man? Let's see. It says, what's good, everyone? Just moved from Chicago to Milwaukee. It's 1:50 a.m. Damn, that's late. And then George, all the way in New Jersey. What's up, bro? Well, right here, we're talking about the silhouette. The silhouette. All right. So here we go. Let me put this right here. Let me set it up right here. So here we have the model. Here we have the magazine. That's pretty cool right there. So just recently, I found one of the original box artworks from AMT, and I purchased it. I should be getting that in soon, later. So I'm excited. I'm gonna bust that one out later. But this version right here, let's look at this side. Pretty sweet. You see all the features right there. The engine, you got that bubble top right there. Another cool thing about this small little box actually has two vehicles right there. So if you look at this side right here, in the background, you're going to see it has a trailer with the bubble. And yeah, that's pretty much what it comes with. And all packed in this box, those two things. So you could fit the car in there. And I'm just like super hyped that I found this one. You can find them online in different places, but dude, I'm like, yo, we got the mag, we got this. You know, started researching more about Bill Cushenberry, and then it turns out he also, you know, did the Dream Rod that is right there, right? If you start looking at these cars, the style right here, right? The body, this is cut out. And then you see the wheels popping up. It's kind of the same style on that one right there. Right up there. I can't really stick my hand to get the box or else I get it, but it's right up there. Let me see real quick. What up, Scott? How you doing, man? What up? And then D'Angelo's 1980, 347 in the Philippines. Wow, retired military. My wife is from here. And then the 60s models were so cool. Even the artwork on the boxes are dope. Dude, you're right. That's what gravitates to me, man. That's what like grabs me when I see the artwork. Like the original boxes, when I've been finding them, I'm like, yo, let me see. Let me get my phone. What am I doing? Am I telling you guys all these little stories and I can't just pull it up? Here, I'll pull it up right now. Where's it? So show you the original box artwork. This kit should be showing up. Wait, it says arrives when? Oh no, probably Friday. Come on. This is like wasting my time. Here we go. All right, let me clean my phone. It's probably all dirty. Hold on. All right, here we go. Let's see. Let's switch this up. Camera angle. Boom, right here. Check out the original box artwork. Right there. AMT. Bill Cushenberry Silhouette Futuristic Custom. So this is one of the vintage box artworks that I'm going to be getting in. That's from him. And then let me pull up the Dream Rod for you guys. Let me see. Is there a clean picture of it? Because I know I have the kit up there. But let me see if now we could look at the wheel. Oh, yeah. This photo right here would be fine. Look at this one. This is the side of the box of the one I have up on my shelf. Look at the headlight. It's only like on one side, the headlight popping out. And the other side, it's all molded in. You know, when I first saw the Dream Rod, because it's also on a cover of one of the mags, I was it was one of those things that it didn't really grab me right away. I was like, what? Like that car looks trippy. You know, it looks very, very different. Watch, let me pull up the mag. This is the cover of the magazine right here. This is a lot easier showing you guys. That's the real car right there. And you know, it's just interesting. The car was created like this. It later got changed into another car. And you know, later the car got lost. They got restored by somebody. And it's back. It's back to its shape, to what it was. And I thought that was dope. I was like, oh, dude, they brought it back. I'm hoping that I get to see it one day. You know, who knows? I don't know who knows if they'd bring that car back to California, but it's almost like I'd probably have to go to wherever they have the car to see it, right? Let's see. Modeled Out Custom says, I definitely want to do me a bubble top. Same here, man. Same here. Like I'm starting to get those kits now that are having it. I feel like I want to start diving into some of the Ed Roth. I feel like I've been sleeping on that for a long, long time. You know, there's some very interesting stuff that's there too. Let's see. Scott says it was made into that 1960 Pontiac. Dang. Yeah, dude. It's a trip, man. Like, there's this guy. So he did this one car. Man, what is it called? Here, let me look up on YouTube. Let me look up Bill Cushenberry. Because when I looked up his name, there's a guy that popped up. And it turns out, like, one of the last cars that Bill had worked on, it got lost, right? And then they found it. They found it later. It was all jacked up. And they had it was called a Space Coupe. And this guy, his name is Barry Gremillion. He, at some point, ended up acquiring the car, right? And what I really like about this guy is that he got it in the condition that it was in, and with his money and with the team, they were it was a long many years process to bring it back and complete the car, which I thought was super dope, right? And he does have a YouTube channel. It's Barry Gremillion. Here, let me click on his thing right now. Because I watched one of the latest videos he just did. Here, I'm gonna show you guys his YouTube channel. Check out this guy right here, Barry Gremillion. Damn, my phone's all dirty. Hold on. Let me wipe this thing on my shirt. Can't be showing that on camera. We're live. No. All right, here we go. Boom. And then there's the Space Coupe short 1962 to 2025. Man, that's dope. Let me see. Here, let me turn down the music. All right. Let me see. Let me start it. All right, here we go. This is a cool picture right here. You guys check out the video when you guys get. But that's Bill Cushenberry right there, 1963. Look at him. So the cool thing, you know, he was doing all these like concept cars and stuff, and well, not even concept cars really. It was like show cars, one of a kind show cars, and he was making a lot of noise and stuff, and it was so dope that he was able to work with AMT, and they came out with model kits. You know, this car, the one that's behind me, another one of his, and there's also other models where he's credited as like with like details and stuff like that. I thought that was like super cool. Let's see, that's him right there, putting the wings on the thing. All right. I don't want to play the whole thing because then I don't want to violate anything. You know what I mean? So I guess I got to do commentary on it. But look at those wings, and it's a trip because I see this car. I see later like a Jim Winfield car. It's a model that I'm gonna be getting in later. I'm waiting on it. Let me see. I'm gonna show you guys a picture. And then there's another one that even like George Barris did. And I'm thinking, wow, I almost feel like they must have gotten inspired by him to do their own take on something like that. Look at this. Piranha. This is Jin Winfield. I almost feel like Bills was first and inspired this later. You know? I don't know. If you guys know, you guys let me know. But that's all I'm saying. That's what I think. You know, it's not for sure, but this model, when I saw it and when I seen Jin Winfield, you know, he's noted on there, I was like, oh, here we go, right here. Design and built for AMT Speed and Custom by Jin Winfield. I was like, yo, that's dope. I got to get this kit. You know, rest in peace to Jin Winfield. I used to see him at some of the shows. I never got to talk to him or meet him, but I used to see him like the earlier times, like 2017 when I went to like Roadster show. I know he was on social media and stuff like that too, but I never had that chance to really opportunity to like chop it up or anything like that. And even like George Barris, man, I wish I would have been able to meet that guy in person. You know, I've been watching documentaries on him or just clips and stuff like that, and he had a big love for model cars. You know, really interesting stuff. Hard worker and just around the clock working on models, working on the real thing. You know, doing a lot of different things. Let me see right here. You know what? Ah, man. Oh, dang. I get the feeling that I'm going to have to take off because it's already midnight. It's midnight, guys. I want to chill longer, but I know I got to wake up early. Got to take my daughter to school. Then I got to hit that list of things I got to do. And then I got to get back in here and package stuff. So maybe tomorrow or later today in the morning, I'll jump live. I'll be back again working on, getting the orders ready and all that stuff. So hopefully you guys can come through if you guys are around. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, chilling out. It's midnight here. I know it's later for you guys. Man, you guys stay up. That's cool. But yeah, thank you. I hope you guys have a good one as well, man. Thank you. And I'll be back soon. So hope you guys enjoyed tonight. Just chilling out, looking at some of the stuff that we just got in. You know, little variety of items, and then just more things are gonna be kind of popping through right here. And we'll see what else we get into later, you know. But yeah, I gotta take off. I gotta put all this, and I'm gonna put this stuff tomorrow. I'm just gonna leave it here, because then I'm gonna get even more tired, you know. So we'll see what's up. But anyways, guys, I'll check in with you guys later. So you guys have a good night. All right, guys, peace.